dealing with what is the ideal path for you, what's next for you, there's so many options to try to figure out, and there's so many different ways that you could take your business, but it's all pretty confusing. So our Coach John Kitchens, came up with a short little quiz that will help you figure out the ideal path for you. Go to realestatecareeraccelerator.com, take the free short quiz, and figure out your ideal path. That's realestatecareeraccelerator.com. I am here with Jenny Young, and we are going to talk about the 3 things that you may not have considered when dealing with seniors in your business. Now, Jenny is with Century 21 Premier Properties here in Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. Hi, Jenny.
Good morning.
Morning. Glad you could join us. So give us some context. I mean, you have some certifications in dealing with seniors, or give us a little backstory on why you're passionate about this.
Sure. So I do have a SRES working with seniors, and my passion really comes from I have been a caretaker a good share of my life, both with my parents, my fiance who had cancer, and then I took care of his dad who had cancer. So, and I've just always had, I don't know, I just being in the facility where my mom was with her Alzheimer's, just loved helping all the older people, and I just have a special place in my heart for them. So.
Well, and seniors, when they're dealing, because buying and sell, well, that would be more selling a house, it, it has its unique set of, I don't want to say issues, but like a unique set of circumstances. So
Oh,
tell us,
absolutely.
yeah. So like, what are the things that you noticed maybe as you were dealing with seniors that you didn't really think about or consider before?
Well, I think there's like 3 major categories.
Okay.
The emotional side of things, the affordability issue, both on both the buying and selling side,
Yeah.
and then the technology challenges. So there, I think the biggest thing is so many seniors have not sold a house in a very long time.
Right.
You know, my parents lived in their house for 52 years.
So
So
bad for business. No, I'm
yeah, it
just kidding,
just
right?
well, yeah, because a lot of them are not updated, and
Right, right.
so, but a lot of it too is you really need to be patient and listen and understand, because a lot of them have lost a spouse, or they're so opposed to change. They really, it's scary. Sometimes they have family members who are trying to take advantage of them or run the show and push them into things that they're not comfortable with. So there's
I
a
would
whole
think
side.
too, having resources for them, because I mean, I guess that could be another video of like where we're the real estate agents, right? And like, yes, we want to be understanding and all this stuff and provide resources like, okay, if you need to clean your stuff out, here's like a transition person that can help with that. But at the same
Correct.
time, like it has to end. Like, where does it's a fine line between like, I'm just your real estate agent. Like, you probably need to seek some other advice.
It's a very fine line. And, there have been situations where there's no family around, and, I've been the one to take them to the hospital, or,
Wow.
when one of my clients had a little dementia, and she used dishwashing liquid detergent in her dishwasher instead of dishwashing soap. So we had quite a flood and a mess to clean up,
She used
bubbles
laundry
everywhere.
detergent inside instead of dish. Oh my
Dishwashing,
God.
yeah, like the
Yeah.
non-liquid. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
not a
Oh
good
no.
plan. But so yeah, I mean, does become a fine line, but some of them really and truly don't have anyone else. But you really need to have like a good elder law attorney, an estate attorney, like you said, all the resources for just, who takes donations, where, who helps with estate sales, or, you know, auctions, those types of
Well,
things
those people can also be good resources for us as agents too,
for
like for
anybody.
other way around. Yeah,
Right,
like if
right.
they have people that they're working with that need to sell a house, they could then
Correct.
for us too. So
Yep,
it's good to do like a
absolutely.
B2B relationship with them as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely a two-way street. And you really do have to know, because there's so many different types of services out there. And even just knowing like what kinds of services the Council on Aging offers,
Right.
that type of thing. So yeah, it's really important. It's not just the generic, list somebody's house. There really is a lot
Yeah,
more
I can imagine
support
that
on that
if
side.
you're working with a senior, you may be thinking that way, like I'm just going to do my process, whatever. But then there's this whole other layer.
And a lot of times, if it's an estate, you're dealing with an out-of-state family who does, has no contacts here locally, doesn't know where to begin, and it's just, they're so overwhelmed dealing with the death of a parent or whatever
Whatever.
that
And that
it
probably leads into like the financial aspect, right?
it does. There's a lot of them don't have much. I mean, the house is really all they have, and a lot of them are in disrepair, so
Right.
you have to sell them as is. You get into a lot of family drama.
Right.
Everybody wants their cut or their take of something, and they try to put you in the middle. So you have to know, again, your boundaries and really be careful about who you're giving information to. Does that person have the proper authority to
Good point.
have that information?
Right.
And I find even with when they're not, when it's not a deceased situation, I've had a couple of situations where there's a family member who is really trying to take advantage of that person, and they convinced their grandma or whoever to, let them be a big part of this and to make some of the decisions, and it's not in the client's best interest. So you really have to be careful about who you're telling what to, and, kind of counsel your client too that, hey, you're the one on the deed, you're the one who has to make these decisions
Right.
and
Yeah.
that. But
There's a lot more to it. What was your third point?
the third one is the technology issues.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
So I am in a situation right now where I have a client who lives an hour away. He and his wife, neither one do technology.
Oh, my God.
And it's the son, they bought the house for the son, and so it's the son's house who I'm selling. So it's been really fun trying to coordinate getting signatures, finding a time when both of them can meet, and trying to get a hold of them because he runs a very busy veterinarian practice.
And
So
he's
it,
technologically savvy, yes or no?
he's not at all.
So it's like, yeah, when any
He's
of the
old
parties
school.
are,
Very
you're like,
old
I'm gonna send
school.
it to your assistant, or can you stop by the bank or something?
Right. And the wife doesn't even have an email address. So,
That's
we talked
awesome.
about trying to create one, and that was just not going to be an option. So there's those issues. But the biggest point on that is that a lot of people don't think about, because we're so used to signing the closing disclosures within, 3 days
Right,
of closing.
right.
Well, when they don't have access to technology, it has to be mailed to them and
Mhm.
mailed back. So you have to allow an extra 7 days on the technology end of things for a loan.
Easy.
Then you also have, you need to think about the fact we probably need to have a 45-day closing,
Right.
because it's not going to happen in 21 or 30 days. So
No.
you've got to think those things through up front and kind of make sure everybody understands and knows what's going on from the beginning, because it really is it's a time issue that
Right.
trying to coordinate all of that.
No, that
So
makes sense. There are like a lot of special issues that are kind of out of the normal process for selling.
yeah, a lot more hand holding, a lot more resources that you need to have, and then just the patience to, deal
This
with
is why I don't have my designation in that.
but they're so sweet.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
fun to work with.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, Jenny, if people have a referral for you in Cincinnati or Northern Kentucky, or maybe they just want to mastermind with you on maybe a client that they have, what is the
Sure.
best way to get a hold of you?
My phone number is 513-766-0711, or you can email me at jennyyoung.net, and that's JENNY at JENNYYOUNG.net.
Awesome. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
What we need right now is a source for great leads, and I found it. It is called Pipeline Pro Tools. So, about 90 days ago, I booked a demo with them. And in that demo, we reverse engineered my business. We figured out how many leads we needed to get in order to get to the closings that we want. And they gave me a playbook to use in order to get that. So I've been using it for 90 days. We've gotten 12 qualified leads, and about half of them are already under contract or closed, which is great. And it is right now my number one source for my best leads that I'm getting. I love this thing. I'm about to ramp up the number of leads that I get with them as well. So, and you might think it's expensive, and it's not. So I was looking for something that's very inexpensive, like affordable to everyone, but also generated great leads. We don't want crap leads. So what you do in order to get this, because I called them and I wanted to partner with them because I was like, this is exactly what our audience has been looking for. So they set up something specific just for us, just for Fight Club listeners. So you would go to pipelineprotools.com/Fight Club. And then you go to the demo, and the demo will show you how many leads you need in order to get the number of closings that you want to get. And then they will give you the playbook that I'm using, my number one playbook for getting leads. And then you can use it too, and we can have happy closings. So go to pipelineprotools.com/Fight Club, book and go to the demo and get all the leads. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a podcast.